Okay, so it's been a long time. I've been so ill and then I've been away, but now I'm back. Back to talk boxing. And the best place to start is the news that happened on Friday night. There's very few people that talk about loyalty in the game of boxing. The one promoter that talks about loyalty the most, I guess, is Eddie Hearn. And previously there was two boxers that he spoke about loyalty with, Tony Bellew and Carl Froch. And both of these boxers ended their careers with Eddie Hearn. Fast forward to today, there's two boxers that he speaks about loyalty with. One is Anthony Joshua and the other is Conor Benn. Now, if you haven't heard the news, where have you been? It's one of the biggest stories of the moment. Conor Benn's gone. Apparently, Eddie Hearn knew this was about to happen because he'd received an email a few days ago. But we didn't know. This is big news. Conor Benn has left Matchroom. A lot of people who don't really follow boxing that closely might be thinking, well, people leave promoters all the time. Well, what's the big deal? Well, this is big. Matchroom and Eddie Hearn have supported Conor Benn in ways that you can't even imagine. Conor Benn got put through the ringer when he was accused of taking whatever drugs it might have been in the lead up to the first Eubank fight that got cancelled or postponed. Apparently, in all we're hearing now, not only did Eddie Hearn back him and Matchroom back him and Frank Smith back him and everyone back him, there was money being loaned. This was happening behind the scenes. That was happening behind the scenes. You might even remember, and if you saw the Matchroom documentary on Netflix, Conor Benn was even speaking about how he was close to taking his own life. That's how stressful this situation was for him. He was thinking about suicide when everybody was on him. He wasn't allowed to box. People didn't believe him. People accusing him of being a drugs cheat, this, that, and the other. He was close to taking his own life. It's in the documentary. Watch it on Netflix. Matchroom stood by him, supported him. Eddie supported him. He was even going toe-to-toe with Simon Jordan. And since then, Conor Benn has said, you know what? Nobody has stuck by me like these guys at Matchroom. My loyalty is to them. Fast forward to 2026. He's out of here. So where would he have gone to? He definitely wouldn't go to one of Eddie's main rivals, would he? Yeah, that's exactly where he's gone. The last 2 or 3 weeks, Eddie and Dana White have been going at it. You could even forget there's any other promoters in the world. It's just Dana White and Eddie just going mad at each other on socials.
Is there a bigger pussy than Eddie Hearn?
He was quite upset that Conor Benn left him.
Is there a bigger pussy than Eddie Hearn? This guy's supposed to be your friend. You're fucking crying. He made more money. He's going to make more money, and he had the right to match it. He could have matched it.
I think he said he tried and Conor Benn wouldn't return his calls.
What a crock of shit. Yeah. We're literally beating up babies.
So of all the places that Conor Benn could go, it just so happens he's gone to the one person who is the main rival. That is where Conor Benn has gone. It's crazy. So apparently, when Eddie Hearn heard this news, he couldn't believe it, obviously. And he heard this news not from Dana White or Dana White's representatives, not from Conor Benn, who he's got this amazing relationship with, but Conor Benn's solicitor wrote him an email. So with that, Eddie said, let's have a chat. Obviously, he's going to say, what's going on here? Can we talk? Give me a call, video, phone. Conor said, no, this is all crazy. As I say, it's not unheard of for people to change promoters. And I don't even think it's necessarily wrong that Conor left Matchroom. It happens. You might frown at it, but it happens. But to not even pick up the phone, and he didn't even have to pick up the phone, to not even accept a phone call from Eddie is mental. How are people going to feel about this? Chris Eubank is having a whale of a time. Told you he was a scumbag. Eddie Hearn's a scumbag. Conor Benn's a scumbag. Scumbag on scumbag beef. Chris Eubank's loving it. It's funny though, because when I first heard this news, the first person I thought was Chris Eubank. Because remember, Chris Eubank doesn't like Eddie Hearn. He doesn't like Conor Benn. And those two ganged up against him. If that's not funny enough for him, you've got to remember that when Chris Eubank was fighting Conor Benn was represented not only by Eddie Hearn, but by Frank Smith. And remember this, it's Chris Eubank versus Conor Benn, and Frank Smith is by his side. And remember, Frank Smith, who's with Conor Benn, is effectively Chris Eubank's brother-in-law. Frank Smith is dating Chris Eubank Jr.'s sister, Chris Eubank Sr.'s daughter. So he, Frank Smith, is part of the Eubank family effectively, but he's over here with Team Benn, and Benn said, see ya. So now he's alienated himself from Chris Eubank Jr. and Sr., but at least he's got Conor Benn by his side. So the next time Frank Smith has to go to the Eubank family house, that is gonna be interesting. I'd love to be a fly on the wall for that. Family politics aside, we don't necessarily know the whole situation. We are hearing that he's been offered an amazing deal. 10 to 15 million. I don't know if that's euros, pounds, or dollars. I'm gonna assume dollars. For a one-fight deal. For what? Why has Conor Benn done this? Is it life-changing money? Yeah, of course it is. People are saying, well, you're already a millionaire, so what's a few more million gonna do? Yeah, I like to see the people that say that turn down 10 million. So my immediate reaction to this whole thing was, is this a setup? And when I say, is this a setup, I mean, Eddie said, you know what? A one-fight deal? Take it. And I'll pretend like I didn't know and I'm disgusted. Is it possible that that's what's going on? Maybe. But let's assume that it's not. And Conor Benn has taken the deal with Zuffa Boxing and he's refused to speak to Eddie Hearn. Why would you not at least speak to the person that's backed you for so many years, grown your profile, protected you, backed you, paid you, promoted you? Why wouldn't you even have a conversation with him? That to me is bad mind. And the only thing I can think of is he just embarrassed? Is it embarrassment? Because surely it's a big backstab. And the least you could do is say, you know what, Eddie, let me just explain myself. I've had to do it for these reasons. I'm sorry, yada, yada, yada. But he's not even done that. But what he has come out and said is he would like Eddie to still be part of his team. How does that work? Eddie is your promoter. Eddie is the promoter for Conor Benn. Conor Benn has left his promotional team to join another promotional team and asked for the lead of the promotional team to join a promotional team that he's not part of. That doesn't even make any sense. That's like saying, I play football for Man United, but I'm leaving Man United to go to Manchester City. But I'd like the manager of Manchester United, even though you're still the manager of Man United, to come and join me at Manchester City. Even though you're still the manager of Manchester United, but come here with me. Even though you're there, but be here. But you're there. What? I don't get it. But I'm sure in due time, we're going to find out more.